I was inspired this evening by Supporta Hall, Mark. He did his wonderful um, 1/2 part story about how him and his partner Nigel met. And I thought that I'd share with you guys my story on how I met my wonderful and dearest husband, Brian. Well, I was about, let's see, how old was I? I think I was about 22, and I was on this phone chat line called Quest Personals, and I've been on Quest Personals since I was 19. I knew what I wanted. I wanted someone that wanted me for who I was, who would accept me for me, who wanted a serious long term relationship, and who wanted to start a future with me. So, I had been on several dates before, met some gentlemen that weren't so nice, some that I liked them but they didn't like me, and then I had guys that liked me and I didn't like them. Well, I was kind of seeing this guy, and we were in a relationship for a while. He was Portuguese, and his name was Rick, and apparently he was telling me that he was going on this business trip or something for his work. So at this time, he was away, and I didn't know if I was going to hear from him again or if he was going to call or what. And previous to this, I had cheated on him because I wanted him to kind of realize how he was treating me, and that if he kept treating me the way he was going to treat me, I was going to find someone else. So, as he told me he was away, apparently in the States, sorry about that, guys. I had to clear my throat. Um, I decided to take it upon myself. I was going to look for somebody new, and if he came back, then I'd go back out with him. Um, if he didn't come back, then I would be with the person that I found. And I didn't know I was going to find this wonderful, wonderful, amazing gentleman. Um, so I called the chat line, I think it was one early morning, and a voice was on the phone, and I was chatting, and I said, we exchanged phone numbers, and right away I got off, and I called him. And I found out that he had just got home from work. He was on, I think he was on midnights, and he had made his coffee and he was reading the paper, and I guess he came across this number. And he decided to call Quest, and he made his account, and he started chatting, and he met some woman. So they started chatting and they made arrangements to meet. So they met in Mississauga, and she didn't look exactly anything like she described. She was all dressed in black, black hair, black nail polish. So Brian was nice enough to have a coffee with her, and then so kindly made an excuse so that he could leave because she wasn't what he was looking for. But the day that we started talking, he went back on Quest. He had got home from work, made his coffee, we were chit chatting and whatnot, and we decided we were going to meet on March 6th of 2000. So we found out that he lived on Clark, and I was living in Springdale at this time with my parents, my mom, my sister, and my stepdad, and our 2 cats. Did we have 2 cats this time? No. Yes, we did. I had Patches, and we had Silly. That was my parents' cat. And yeah, I had Patches. Yeah, Patches was around then. So he had mentioned he lived on Clark, and I knew where Clark was, and I'm trying to think, Clark where? And I was trying to figure out and couldn't think of exactly where. So we agreed that we were going to meet at the city center, and I'm very familiar with the city center because I went there quite a bit. I still do today, but I try not to go as much. So we decided we were going to meet there, and at the time there was this, I think it was Sunrise Records or something, and right where the escalator is, there used to be a waterfall, like a water fountain kind of thing. So I'm pacing back and forth and wondering, okay, and I'm looking around at different people, and I'm like, okay, what does Brian look like? What is he going to look like? And I saw this gentleman, and I'm like, please don't tell me it's him. And luckily it wasn't him. I went inside Sunrise Records to pass some time, and I came back out, and there was this gentleman with long hair in a ponytail wearing a Cartman hat, and I think he was wearing the blue coat that I stole off him that I wear now. And I said, hello, are you Brian? And he's like, yes. Are you Jen? And I'm like, yes. And we decided to go walking through the mall, and we were chit-chatting and talking, and it was around the season where they bring out stuff for Christmas, and they had like a booth, like different booths set up. They had like a fudge booth, and they had a booth where you could get like really poems. You could find your name, and you could get poems, or you could get like poems that say like sister or brother or dad, that sort of thing. And then there was like another table that had you could find out the meaning of your last name or first name or something like this. Well, they had booths set up, and we were just walking and looking around. And he says, well, would you like to get something to eat? And I said, sure. And then we agreed that we were going to go to Popeyes. And I had a 2-piece chicken, mild, nothing spicy, with fries, and he had a fish sandwich, and he was trying this for the first time. So we sat at a really cozy, kind of like in the middle, 2-seater table, and we chit-chatted and we talked, and when we were done, he's like, well, I have to get ready to go to work, because he was on midnights, and he was like helping out, I think helping out the boss or something. It was kind of like helping with the supervisor. So he didn't drive, because he had told me like way before he had met me, months before, he got rid of his car because he was in an accident. Nothing major, but his car wasn't worth getting fixed. So he needed the money because he was out of a job. He was on layoff. So we took the money to survive, live, that sort of thing. Well, I'm going to continue my story. So if you want to go over, I'd hurry up, because I've got more of my story to tell you guys.